Have you ever gone to a nursery and bought a stunning plant and next few weeks or months the leaves start to go brown, starts to wilt, and next thing you know it's dead and in the rubbish bin? Well, we've all been there, so let's go through some tips to avoid this sad situation. Plant experts know what light conditions they have in the household, because in the household there is different light conditions in different areas. Some areas may see low light, medium light, or bright light. Some areas may receive direct sunlight or indirect sunlight, or some areas may see just morning light or afternoon light. It's important to know the light condition in that area because it's easier to choose the plant to suit that area rather than changing the light conditions to suit the plant. Because these days with the cost of buying artificial lights and then the running costs, it can get quite expensive. So it's more easier to choose the plant to suit that area. This area here is a low light area in my household. It only receives light about 2 meters away from an east facing window. And mind you, the east facing window is actually almost covered by my Hoya collection. So if I popped this plant here, which is a Ficus lyrata, or otherwise known as a fiddle-leaf fig, in the next few months or even days, it's not going to be happy. It's going to start to die because a fiddle-leaf fig is a sun-loving plant. It wants as much light as possible. So with this low light condition area that I have, it's better for me to put something like ZZ plants, which can tolerate low light, because it's only going to receive about 3 hours of low indirect light. Plant experts know when to water their plants. Household plants don't need to be watered every single day. And also in saying that, it's better not to have a schedule because different household plants dry up in different rates. So say this Sansevieria here, it's almost like a desert plant there. And it likes its soil to be completely dry, like desert dry, before it's thoroughly watered. So this one here, I can leave it longer before I water it, compared to say a Calathea, which is more of a tropical plant. It's in an area in the tropical rainforest where it receives a lot of water. So it likes its soil to be moist. It doesn't like to be completely dried. If I ended up with a watering schedule and I watered these plants at the same time, neither of them are going to be happy and neither of them are going to thrive. So before watering a plant, it's best to check the moisture level in the soil. There's a few ways that can be done. Can either have a moisture meter and go as far down into the soil as possible to see what the moisture reading is. The other option is that to use your finger or a stick, poke the finger or stick as far down into the soil. When removing it, if the soil sticks to the finger or the stick, the soil is still moist. If a lot of soil sticks to the finger or stick, then the soil can actually be soggy as well, which is not good because no plant likes to be soggy. So it's important to actually check the level of water before watering, because overwatering a plant is one of the easiest way to kill a household plant. Plant experts tend to check for pests on a regular basis. It's important to do that because pests can not only just kill one plant very quickly, it can actually spread and kill a whole collection of plants very quickly. The most common pests are things like thrips, mealybugs, aphids, fungus gnats, and also scales. I tend to treat my pests with with a solution that contains neem oil. So my solution consists of 1 liter water, 10% neem oil, and 10% of dishwashing solution. I shake it all up and I spray it all over the plant, because these pests not only can be at the top of the leaves, it can be underneath, it can be in the stems, in the crevices, in the soil. So it's best to spray all over to make sure. And also plant experts know if a plant is an indoor plant or an outdoor plant. Now, all plants originated from outdoor. There's no plants that actually originated from an indoor household. So they all originate outside, but not all plants can grow indoors. So it's best to make sure that it's an indoor plant and not an outdoor plant. So this here, this is a purple Persian shield, and this plant does not suit my household. It doesn't have the right conditions. So when I was growing indoors, it was a nightmare. It was just so fussy, so horrible. It never really grew. The leaves just kept on going brown and just kept on wilting. So what I did, because I got fed up with it, I put it outside underneath some cover and it receives bright morning sunlight, and since then it's thrived. I've done really nothing for it except water it when it requires, but I don't need to fuss over it anymore. So it's important to make sure that the household plant is an actually household plant, because this purple Persian shield was sold in a nursery as an indoor plant, but it actually thrives better outdoors. When it comes to things like pruning, plant experts prune their plants. Not only does it make the plant look neat and tidy and more beautiful, it also tries to prevent pests, because getting rid of dead leaves is important, because pests can harbor in these dead leaves. Also, it creates a stronger growth and promotes growth as well. So this is my chain of hearts, and it's full and lush, and that's because I tend to prune it on a regular basis. And this promotes the actual strings to actually branch out. So over time, it looks more full and more lush. So it can be scary at the start to prune a plant, but once you get used to it, it's actually quite enjoyable. And also when you do prune the plant, say this chain of hearts there, or string of hearts, you can actually use those strings to propagate more plants and give away to friends. If you want to know how to propagate a string of hearts, I have a video here. Go and watch it, and I'll see you there.